Roberta, in terms of success stories, could you share some of your patients' experiences with us?
As far as uh, success stories, oh my gosh, it just depends on what you're talking about. So, pain. I've had clients in here. I had a woman drive from Wisconsin and she came over for what I call an intensive. So, she spent 4 solid days. We worked together rather than spreading it out over time. There's some advantages and disadvantages to doing it that way, but she was out of town and she had fibromyalgia for 20 some years. She had to take a nap at 4 o'clock. She couldn't work full time. She couldn't sleep with her husband anymore. Half the time she couldn't put sheets on her body. They hurt too much. And there were times when she would try, if she were left work a little too late, she would get that fibro fog that people talk about, and she would have to call someone to come and get her. She couldn't find her way home. So it's a pretty severe case. This woman is managing her fibromyalgia. She doesn't have pain. She doesn't take a nap anymore. She works full time. She has had amazing results. She took what I said to heart. She practices every single day. 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes of hypnosis every single day, and she has her life back. I have clients that have come in that have had no surgery, no illness, no diagnosis of any kind except the doctor doesn't know why you're having pain. It's emotional pain. When we get to the root of that emotion, the pain can go away. You can let it go away. Clients that have had pre-surgical, post-surgical pain. I'm an example of that. That's very typically why people come to see me. So with pain, it is the efficacy around hypnosis and pain management is huge. It's a great compliment. Sleep. It's amazing. First of all, teaching people good sleep hygiene is important. And a lot of people have very poor sleep hygiene. So we work on that. But hypnotically, it's really interesting what we discover. I had a client, she could only sleep 3 or 4 hours a night, 3 or 4 hours a night. And she'd been doing that for a long time, and it was wearing on her, developing health problems. She'd looked terrible. And she would get up and just have these random thoughts, not the typical thoughts that people would have, like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. They were random, like, why'd Bob wear that blue tie with that purple shirt? It looked terrible. I mean, why would people think that, right? So in hypnosis, she recalled a time when she was 4. And she's in her room, she has a lot of siblings, everybody's crying, and mom tells her, Aunt Betty went to sleep last night and didn't wake up. And she is going from, she's 4 and she's desperate to make people feel better, and she's telling jokes or telling this one a story or, trying to distract somebody. This is her randomness. But that one instance of Aunt Betty didn't wake up, that was deeply embedded in her subconscious mind at a time when she was very open, and her subconscious mind was very literal. And it affected her sleep her whole life. I have had old people, really elderly people here, that one of their habits from when they were a tiny child was saying the prayer, "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take." That's okay when you're young and you're not thinking about death, but when you are getting older and that's staring you in the face, that comes back in a very bad way. And so we change that prayer to something more positive. Okay? And and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. And it sounds simple and silly, but our subconscious mind is very, very literal. It doesn't understand nuances and humor and sarcasm. It takes everything in as it is said, as the truth. And a lot of times we hold on to beliefs that we get when we're very young, that at the time serve us just fine, or that really have no context or effect on us. But when we get older, there might be something that happens that triggers that in our subconscious mind, and consciously we have no awareness of what is even being triggered or why we feel that way. And so there's this disconnect with what consciously we think and a belief that's very embedded in our subconscious. And so in hypnosis, it's very easy to get to the root cause of a lot of issues that we're having in our current life that we don't understand.